soft breeze moves through the garden, carrying the scent of lavender and warm earth, while filtered sunlight settles gently over gravel paths and green borders. Moments like this remind us how even the smallest outdoor space can feel like a quiet escape. Today's journey explores how French country design transforms compact gardens into timeless retreats, where structure and softness live in harmony. From fragrant borders to intimate courtyards, we'll shape a space inspired by rustic Provencal charm. This is Rustic and Rooted Asterisk, where thoughtful design brings outdoor beauty to life. Lavender instantly defines the spirit of a French country garden, even in the smallest space. As you walk along a narrow path edged with these silvery green plants, the soft brush of their stems releases a calming fragrance. Their delicate purple blooms bring gentle color without overwhelming the layout, allowing the garden to feel open, balanced, and intentionally composed. Beyond beauty, lavender plays an important role in the garden's ecosystem. Its flowers attract pollinators such as bees and butterflies, encouraging a healthy, living environment. In small gardens, this quiet activity adds a sense of vitality and rhythm, reminding us that even compact spaces can support nature when plants are chosen with care. As these borders guide the eye forward, they naturally lead us deeper into the garden. The repetition of form creates structure, while the softness of the foliage keeps the space relaxed. This balance between order and ease becomes a recurring theme as we move toward the next garden element. Terracotta pots bring warmth and authenticity to a French garden, especially when grouped thoughtfully. Their sun-warmed clay surfaces echo the earthy tones of Provence, while their imperfect textures add character. Arranged in clusters of varying heights, they create gentle layers that soften corners and define pathways without enclosing the space. These pots offer flexibility in small gardens, allowing herbs and flowering plants to thrive where in-ground planting may be limited. Rosemary, thyme, and geraniums release subtle aromas when brushed past, enriching the sensory experience. The pots also improve drainage and soil control, helping plants remain healthy and resilient. As these clusters settle into the landscape, they create a sense of abundance without clutter. the eye naturally moves from one grouping to another, setting a comfortable pace. This rhythm prepares the garden for a more defined focal point, where texture underfoot becomes just as important as what grows above. A gravel courtyard introduces a classic French foundation that feels timeless and practical. The gentle crunch underfoot adds an auditory layer to the garden experience, grounding each step. Gravel reflects light softly, brightening compact spaces while keeping the overall mood calm and understated. In ecological terms, gravel allows rainwater to drain naturally, reducing runoff and keeping roots healthy. It also minimizes maintenance, freeing the garden to feel relaxed rather than overly managed. When framed by planting beds, the courtyard becomes a pause within the landscape rather than a break from it. This open center creates visual breathing room, making surrounding greenery feel richer and more intentional. From here, the garden begins to show its structure clearly, leading the eye toward more formal plant arrangements that hint at classic French design principles. A small herb parterre brings order and tradition into the garden through gentle geometry. Low borders outline neat sections, each filled with aromatic plants that invite touch and exploration. The repetition of shapes provides calm, while the varied leaf textures keep the space visually engaging. Herbs thrive in defined beds, benefiting from good airflow and clear separation. Their scents mingle naturally, creating a layered fragrance that changes throughout the day. This careful layout supports healthy growth while offering easy access for harvesting, blending beauty with everyday usefulness. As the parterre anchors the garden with structure, it it contrasts beautifully with looser plantings nearby. This interplay between formality and softness leads us toward vertical elements that lift the garden upward, making the most of limited space. Climbing roses introduce romance and height without occupying precious ground space. As their stems weave upward along a trellis, they soften walls and boundaries, transforming them into living features. Blooms appear at eye level, allowing their color and fragrance to be enjoyed intimately. These vertical plantings improve airflow and light distribution, keeping the garden healthy. Roses also support pollinators, adding another layer of life to the space. Their upward growth draws the eye beyond the garden's footprint, making small areas feel taller and more expansive. With this vertical movement established, the garden begins to feel enclosed yet open, intimate yet breathable. This gentle enclosure sets the stage for softer color palettes and calmer compositions ahead. Aged stone planters introduce a sense of permanence and history. Their cool surfaces contrast beautifully with tender pastel blooms, creating visual harmony. Positioned along paths or seating areas, they guide movement while quietly anchoring the garden's design. Pastel flowers reflect light softly, preventing the space from feeling crowded or intense. Their muted tones support a calming atmosphere, ideal for rest and reflection. Stone also helps regulate soil temperature, protecting roots during warmer days and cooler evenings. These planters help slow the pace of the garden, inviting lingering glances. As color and texture blend gently together, attention naturally shifts toward places designed for stillness and pause. A simple garden bench becomes a moment of rest within the landscape. Weathered wood carries the marks of time, while iron accents add strength and subtle elegance. Positioned thoughtfully, the bench feels discovered rather than placed, as if it has always belonged there. Seating areas encourage mindfulness, allowing the garden to be experienced slowly. From this vantage point, one can notice the movement of grasses, the hum of insects, and the play of light through leaves. These pauses deepen emotional connection to the space. As the bench anchors this quiet corner, the garden's sensory layers become more apparent. Sound, scent, and texture blend naturally, leading attention toward the gentle presence of water nearby. A small fountain introduces sound that softens the entire garden. The gentle trickle of water masks urban noise and adds a cooling sensation to the air. Its aged surface suggests history, reinforcing the timeless character of the French garden style. Water features support birds and beneficial insects, adding movement and life. Even subtle reflections bring light into shaded corners, enriching the visual experience. In small spaces, a compact fountain offers these benefits without overwhelming the layout. As water becomes part of the garden's rhythm, the space feels more complete. This sense of balance prepares the eye for elements that rise upward again, using walls and vertical planes as living canvases. Vertical planting makes full use of limited space while adding depth and charm. Rustic shelves or ladders display potted herbs and flowers, creating layers that draw the eye upward. Each level feels intentional, contributing to a balanced, lived-in aesthetic. These vertical arrangements improve air circulation and light exposure for plants. They also keep foliage at varying heights, encouraging a diverse microenvironment. The combination of wood, greenery, and terracotta reinforces the garden's earthy character. As these vertical elements frame the garden, they gently guide movement toward pathways that invite exploration. The space feels complete yet open, encouraging a final slow walk through its heart. A narrow gravel path brings the garden together, offering a clear sense of direction. Soft greenery along its edges blurs the boundary between path and planting bed, making the walk feel immersive. Each step reveals subtle changes in texture and scent. Paths help protect planting areas while guiding airflow and water movement. Gravel supports drainage, while border plants stabilize soil and invite beneficial insects. Together, they create a living corridor that feels both practical and poetic. As the path leads forward, the garden feels cohesive and calm. Every element connects naturally, leaving a lasting impression of balance, simplicity, and quiet beauty rooted in the traditions of French country design. As this garden comes together, each element works in quiet balance, blending beauty with purpose. Gravel paths guide the way, lavender and herbs bring scent and movement, and carefully chosen features create moments of rest and reflection. More than a design, this garden becomes a living sanctuary, offering calm, connection, and a place to slow down. A well-loved garden doesn't just change a space, it nourishes the soul. If this inspired your own garden dreams, please subscribe, like, and comment below.